Hello and welcome to Car and Bike. We have with us the 5th Royal Enfield 650cc twin model, the all-new Royal Enfield Interceptor Bear 650. It's a scrambler based on the Royal Enfield Interceptor. We'll tell you all about it, how does it ride, how does it perform. But before that, please do consider liking the Car and Bike channel, and if you haven't yet, hit the bell icon so that you get notified every time we bring you a new review of a motorcycle or a car that you may be interested in. For now, let's take a closer look at what's new on the Interceptor Bear 650.
The Royal Enfield Bear 650 is a good-looking motorcycle. It's desirable, and although being based on the Interceptor 650, it has managed to infuse fresh appeal in this scrambler version. With bright colors, a wide brace handlebar, and flat ribbed seat, there's no mistaking the scrambler-inspired design DNA. The exhaust is now a 2-in-1 system, which has resulted in slightly more torque from the parallel twin engine.
As you can see, the exhaust routing, it's a 2-in-1 exhaust. You don't get those twin exhausts of the Interceptor, and the exhaust has been tucked in. Quite neat looking thing. Bench seat here, quite nice rib seat on the Bear 650. And it gets a slightly longer swing arm, so the wheelbase is increased by about 60 odd millimeters than the Interceptor 650. To my mind, I think in the styling department, the Bear 650 totally nailed it. It's a beautiful looking motorcycle available in about 5 or 6 colors. This one's called the Wild Honey. It's got a yellow and blue color scheme. So very nice looking. That's the racing sort of side panel inspired design. And that's the 6.5 for the 650cc twin platform, that is. And yeah, that's how it looks. What do you think about the design? Do let us know in the comments. I think this one really hits the nail on the head when it comes to design. Beautiful looking motorcycle. And if you keep turning back and looking at a motorcycle, I think half the battle is won. I think the Bear 650 is really a smashing looking motorcycle. And by the way, this is the first Royal Enfield 650cc to get all LED lighting. So you get LED headlight, which you get in other 650s now also. LED turn indicators and everything LED as well. So all LED lighting, and that's how it looks. So do let us know in the comments, what do you think about the styling? To my mind, I think this is a gorgeous looking motorcycle. Really nails its scrambler design to the T.
The Bear 650 is feature-rich as well, with different brakes, and gets the fully digital TFT instrument console from the Himalayan 450. It may be based on the Interceptor 650, but it's a lot different as well.
Now let's take a look at what are the primary changes on the Interceptor Bear 650 compared to the Royal Enfield Interceptor 650, which you've seen for many years now. Now, as you can see, the stance has changed somewhat. That's because of several reasons. Number one, it gets a bigger 19-inch front wheel, wire-spoke wheels, but you don't get tubeless tires like the Himalayan. And it gets a 17-inch rear wheel. The Interceptor comes with 18 inches front and rear, but you also get an optional alloy wheels with tubeless tires on the Interceptor 650, which you don't get on the Bear 650. Now, these tires, the block pattern tires, have been specifically developed for this bike with MRF. They are called MRF Nylorex tires, block pattern tires for light off-road use. And suspension, it gets a Showa upside down front fork, which is more stroke, about 130 mm compared to 115 mm on the Interceptor 650. Rear suspension travel is 110 mm compared to 88 mm on the Interceptor 650. And ground clearance has gone up from 174 mm to 184 mm on this, the Bear 650. The design of the frame is largely the same, but Royal Enfield says it has been reinforced, so it gets beefed up a little bit, and the rear portion of the frame has been changed as well. And with all those changes, longer stroke suspension, larger front wheel, the seat height has also gone up from 804 mm on the Interceptor 650 to 830 mm on the Bear 650. It's a tallish bike, but quite narrow up front. Now, for reference, my height is 5'9", and I can tiptoe quite comfortably, but if you're 5'7" or below, then this could be an issue. But if you're used to tall bikes, then it shouldn't be a problem. The ergonomics has changed. It's got a wider handlebar now, and you sit like this, but the reach is not so comfortable, as in like not so upright. It's still a comfortable bike, but you have to little crouched down position, little sporty position, so to speak. And but The primary thing is scramblers. Originally, when they were made in the 60s and 70s, people used to strip down normal road bikes, make them lighter for off-road use. But nowadays, the trend is that the scramblers come straight from the factory. Most brands make factory scramblers. So this one is that you don't need to strip down everything. It is a stripped down bike, yes, but in terms of weight, it is only 2 kilos lighter than the Interceptor 650. So this has got a curb weight of 216 kgs, while the Interceptor has got a curb weight of 218 kgs. So those are the changes on the Interceptor Bear 650.
With more torque, the Bear 650 feels lively with strong acceleration in any gear. The engine is responsive and a raspy exhaust note certainly complements the bike's character and personality. The MRF Nylorex tyres offer decent grip on tarmac even when leaned over. And as far as handling is concerned, the Bear 650 is impressive and high-speed stability is also pretty good. But it's the suspension setup which is a bit of a letdown, particularly when going over broken patches. And when you do venture out off-road, the tyres offer decent performance for some sideways fun. But again, the suspension setup lets down the Bear 650's capabilities. The front bottoms out during jumps and the rear feels bouncy and inconsistent.
One of the most impressive bits about the Bear 650 is of course the 650cc parallel twin. Engine remains the same, around about the same horsepower, 46.5 watt bhp, but the torque has been increased by about 4.5 Newton meters, and the torque across the revs has been moved up, so it gets more torque. And with the 2-in-1 exhaust, it sounds a little different also, raspy and quite nice. Let's fire it up and listen to it. So yeah, nice looking, nice sounding exhaust note. I quite like the way this motorcycle sounds, and performance is familiar. That 4 Newton meters of torque, I can't make out any difference unless I ride them both back to back. But that engine is quite impressive, and it's the star of the show, so to speak. Very refined, very smooth. We've always loved the 650cc parallel twin, and that character remains. It's a stable motorcycle. Even at high speed, it's quite stable. It's bigger. It's a heavy bike, but because of the weight, it feels stable and it handles quite nicely as well. So the engine, no complaints, and I think it's one of the best bits about the Bear 650.
Prices for the Bear 650 range from 3,39,000 rupees ex-showroom to 3,59,000 rupees ex-showroom, depending on the color option that you choose. It's decent pricing for what is essentially a road-biased factory scrambler, and it definitely offers a slightly better proposition than the Interceptor 650, even with the added premium that you will pay.
So time to answer the final question, how is the Interceptor Bear 650? To my mind, it has got some great qualities. It looks fantastic. That engine is a gem of an engine. No complaints there on the performance front, no complaints on the handling. It handles beautifully. And if you like sporty riding, you will not be disappointed with this bike. That engine gearbox combination is superb. A couple of drawbacks which are worth mentioning to my mind. What could have been better is the rear suspension. It's on the stiffer side. That is something you should consider or keep in mind, at least if you are considering to buy this motorcycle. And although it's a scrambler, that weight, it's a heavy bike, it's a big bike. It's not really an off-road bike. It's more or less a street-oriented bike with block button tires to do a little bit of soft-roading. But hardcore off-roading, no. It's got weight, which is a disadvantage. Suspension, which is not that great for off-roading. But if you're primarily sticking to smooth surfaces, you want to ride on weekends, go out for breakfast rides, this could be the bike for you. But if you're riding every day, going through potholes, then the stiff ride quality may be a bit of a bother for you. So those are things you should keep in mind before you consider. But in any case, go and take a test ride. This could be the bike for you. This could be the scrambler for you.